For our annual 2024 theme has been Waging Peace. This year, we look at the many different ways that President Eisenhower worked towards global peace. This month, we're dedicating how Eisenhower implemented this during his administration. Today, we are pleased to welcome a familiar face to many in this area and also to researchers who have traveled to the Eisenhower Presidential Library and Museum, David Haight. David holds decades of archival knowledge. He retired from the archives in 2008, but continued to volunteer until March of 2020, when some big thing happened, and he gladly took his second retirement. David is definitely the type of archivist you would want when you're coming to do research, because he knows where everything is. After David's presentation, we will have time for a few questions. If you want to write them down on the notepad, one of the Eisenhower staff will walk by and collect it, and they could ask the question for you. Or if you want to raise your hand, we do have a microphone. We will come to you and let you ask your question. This program is also being streamed live across the internet, so we're going to be having questions come in virtually as well. And after taking up all your time for that, David?
Well, thank you. I'm very glad to be here today. I'm honored to be here. Can everybody hear me okay? I'll try to go as carefully and slowly and cautiously as I can so I don't blur my words. Now, we have a lot of ground, or I might say aerospace, to cover, so I'll try to get right into this. We're talking about strategic aerial reconnaissance of the communist bloc countries, basically during the Eisenhower administration. So with that, I'm going to start by quoting the words of President Eisenhower. On May 11, 1960, 10 days after Francis Gary Powers' U-2 plane was shot down, creating a major incident. And this is what Eisenhower, some of his remarks. No one wants another Pearl Harbor. This means we must have knowledge of military forces and preparations around the world, especially those capable of massive surprise attack. And who was he aiming these at? He went on additional remarks. Secrecy in the Soviet Union makes this essential. In most parts of the world, no large-scale attack could be prepared in secret. In the Soviet Union, there's a fetus of secrecy. And then, of course, so that was the concern. And as the U.S. and the United States, the USSR and U.S. emerged from World War II as major world powers, and a lot of things happened, and a lot of them which caused the United States governments to be very concerned, from movements in Eastern Europe to communize Eastern Europe, disagreements over treatment of defeated Germany, the Berlin blockade, espionage, which the Russian spies stole so many of our secrets, the detonation of the atomic bomb by the Russians in 1949, and all these things helped to, and finally the ultimate surprise attack when North Korea attacked South Korea. That added to the fact that China had fallen under communist domination. So it appeared that the communist world was on the march. So what is the United States going to do about it? Well, this is going to focus primarily on the Eisenhower administration, but we have to give President Harry Truman his due. Some of these operations began under Harry Truman. Let's see, we're on slide 1. Okay, I'll make sure we're on. And that, I think I guess we can move on to slide 2. Okay, this lists the types of methods of aerial intelligence gathering we'll be talking today. First is peripheral flights, second send missions, 3 balloons, 4 planes like the U-2, and 5 satellites like the reconnaissance satellites. I'll define each one of them as I get to them. And believe me, there'll be some things to talk about. So we've got to keep moving forward here. I guess the slide 3, there are many, many key players involved in these programs. And I'll also go back for a minute on these different flights. The United States didn't do all these things alone. I'd like to make a point. We had help. The British participated in some of these reconnaissance flights with us, and other countries provided bases for many of our missions. And so we didn't do it alone. We had allies.